Morning and welcome to the second video in the series, A Novice Fishkeeper's Diary. This morning I'm going off to Maidenhead Aquatics to start sourcing my hardscape. It's not a great morning, the sun's just coming out now, there's probably reflections on my wall here, but it's basically pouring down the rain, so I thought I may as well get down there, have a little chat with Matt, see if I can sort out some sort of rock or wood. I'm not quite sure. I'm probably looking at some sort of root and a bit of rock, but well, we'll see. I'll also be picking up the substrate, sand and a few other bits. I think I said on the first video, I'm taking everything one step at a time now. So first video was really about a little review or first impressions of the actual aquarium and my cabinet. And now we're starting the business end where we're starting to scape it. So this will be the video will probably be in two parts. One, I'll show you what I've bought and how I'm trying to put it together. And the second one will be actually getting it into the tank. So anyway, we'll get off down there and then I'll see you back in the chair in about an hour or so. Right, I'm back, and as you can see, I've been having a little play about. So what I'll do, I'll bring you in closer and show you what I've been up to. So what I decided to do here, because it would be awkward to actually be playing around with this actually in the aquarium because of the depth, I sourced myself a bit of cardboard. I've got plenty of that flying about where I've had deliveries of the cabinet and the aquarium, and I've drawn out the dimensions of the tank. Now, if you look carefully, and I did make a mistake to start with, I drew right from the back to the front, the actual width and depth of the base, but I forgot about the filtration, the media section at the back. So I've now put that in. So I've got 26 centimeters coming forward, a total of 36 centimeters and 40 edge to edge of the glass. Now, when you pick this up in the shop, it looks a lot smaller. I mean, I knew the piece of root would fit in, but with the rock, it's coming more to the front. And I've been playing around with this for about half hour. What I tended to do, and Matt advised me to do this, is just play around with the rock. This rock, this is, I think it's called a pettex aquatic rock. It seems to fit in all over the place on wood. You know, you can get it in. I mean, I know it's pre-sized, but you literally can find it sort of fits in all the nooks and crannies. So I've already had about 5 or 6 different setups. But what I'm going to do, it doesn't matter. I've taken photographs of each of the setups, and then when I get it into the aquarium with the substrate, then I can start to make final decisions. So yeah, so we've got pettex aquatic rock, and I think it's called Corbo tree or Corbo root, and you can see there's that massive beautiful hole going right through it and loads of little crevices all over the place to put plants. So that at the moment is how I think I'm going to have it in there. Now, one of the surprising things is you go to the shop and you put it on the floor and you play around with it, and then you're in a larger space, and all of a sudden, if you look at it, I haven't got a lot of real estate left on the base when this is in. So I'm not 100% sure. So again, I've been sitting here having a think. I've got at the absolute minimum 60 millimeters, I think, that side to the side, and about the same this side. Probably only got round about 30 millimeters from the front, and that's tight on the back. and obviously the rock's taking up a lot of that space. Some of the good things about it, the more I, trying to think whether this is too big. Height wise, it comes just below the actual spray bar. So any higher, the spray bar is going to have to be angled up. It is taking up a lot of real estate. But in saying that, there's loads of, the way I've laid it out here, there's loads of nooks and crannies that, remember in my Fish and Nano, where they can get in and, hide away, get some shade. I've put this one up deliberately so they can go under there. This, I don't know what I'll be doing to plant out, but there's loads of nooks and crannies to plant out, and it's literally hollow. It goes right the way through. So if there's room in there, the fish could go through there and swim through. So there's a lot of interest in the piece of root. But I've got a piece of slate coming tomorrow, so this is going to be screwed to the slate. So I don't necessarily need to glue the rock to the root. So I could put it in and say, right, rock's out and something else, or I could alter it later. It's not going to all be, initially I was going to get a slightly bigger piece of slate, screw this on, and then literally make this up and put it in as one big piece. But I think because this is all very, very sturdy, it's not going anywhere, it's not going to fall anywhere. Maybe that piece needs gluing because it could tip that way. But other than that, and again, yes, I've not got a lot of room because it's sand, because I've got pygmy cory to think about. But they're not just bottom dwellers, they do go all over the tank. So, and there is quite a bit of room around the side. So if I just have some background plants, and then this could be the main feature that's planted out. I could have Java fern, Java moss, and several other things. I've got loads of little nooks and crannies to attach, so that could literally become the main focal point. So it would still be quite heavily planted. Obviously I can plant it between the rocks, some moss here and there, and just sort of leave this area clear. But if it didn't work out at any time I wanted, I could just start removing rock and just, it wouldn't be too damaging. I'm talking about before I stock it. I just sit there and look at it, because what I do find is, what I tend to do, like I said earlier on, I put some rocks together. I got a formation that me and Matt played on, or Matt and I played on, and I did it, went and sat down, looked at it, thought, oh, now I started moving things about. And you tend to do that, and that's what you'll be doing with your tank. You won't necessarily be sitting with my glasses right on the glass staring in. You'll be at all different angles looking over at the tank. So and obviously, yes, once it's planted out, you get the background plants and get some on there, and as it starts to grow in, it might look absolutely fantastic. So there is still quite a bit of space, but if necessary I can remove the rock. So while I was down there, I decided to pick up a few other bits. So I've got some glue. I've actually already got some, but I didn't have any of these. Is this the runny? Yeah, the runny glue. So I've got a couple of extra glues just in case, although I don't look like I'm going to be even needing that necessarily for the plants now, because I've got so many nooks and crannies. I picked up a 4 kilogram bag of Biostratum, the Fluval one. And I won't even really need a lot of that if I'm going this way, because the planting is going to be mainly at the back, and then it can really go into sand. And this is massive. I'll have tons of this left over. Fishkeeper's aquarium substrate, basically black sand. So the base is going to be black. The idea eventually is to get some botanics in there, just a few smaller leaves, sort of like almond leaves or something like that, and just sort of make that a bit of a feature. And I do like the idea of the tannins anyway. I don't necessarily want it full black water, litter everywhere, but I do personally, I like the coloration of it. So yeah, I wanted to get this video out because now this bad boy's got to go. Well, I've got to clean this up, get it in the soak, rocks have got to be cleaned up. Obviously if the slate's turning up tomorrow, it may be that I'll be screwing it to the slate, and then it won't necessarily need waterlogging. but I'll see tomorrow. But it needs a good clean up. It's got loads of dust and dirt and debris on it. I can't boil it, I've got nothing big enough. So if necessary, I'll soak it if it still wants to float. Apparently this is very, very buoyant, this type of root, but we'll get there with that, no problem. So anyway, I hope you like the idea of, I think they actually call them, if you go into some of the aquatic stores, they call them dojo, which basically means training place or training hall. I know that well enough because I've been a martial artist all my life. So yeah, so you've got the layout so you can actually put it on. Didn't have that yesterday, this morning, sorry. But that could really work out nice. But I have got the options. Right, so I'm going to get all this into soak. Now what I'll do, I'll put all the prices up. Like I said, I'm going to keep you up to speed with what I'm spending. So this is the second stage. This is the hardscaping. After this, there'll be planting, chemicals, and then really we're into the cycling side. So I'll put them up on the screen now. If I'm not leaving it up long enough, feel free to just pause the video and have a little look through. It's only to give you an idea of what it costs from A to Z. As simple as that, because it's not necessarily as cheap as some people find out to do a complete aquarium setup, and probably even dearer if you don't buy an all-in-one like the one behind me. That's it for now then. So the next time I see you, this will have been soaked and it'll be going into the aquarium. So I hope you found this video informative. Remember, this is predominantly for absolute novices like myself. I'm heavily reliant on what I'm researching online, like videos, not like this, but you know, from aquatists that have been at it for years, and Matt down at the store who's been extremely helpful at the moment. And so this is just to hopefully, maybe if you're following me and it goes well, or there's problems, then at least as a novice, or if you're thinking of taking it up, you know what to expect and maybe how to deal with it. If you are an expert, sorry if you think I'm getting it all wrong, I'm just doing my best. Right, we'll leave it there. So yeah, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And I'm predominantly an outdoorsy fella. I do kayaking, hiking and whatever. I'm just taking a bit of time out because I've got a bad back and knees, and just getting on with this project at the moment. So feel free to browse through my videos, and never know, you might like it. So if you do feel like it, please subscribe, and don't forget to comment below the video. Bye for now.